Innovation and Business Incubation, the person of Honorable Ike Peter Anambra for his opening remark. Thank you. Mr.
Yes,
Mike, since you're muted.
Okay. Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. All right. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone, depending on where you are joining us from. Thank you all and welcome to this edition of Anambra Tech Drive. My name is Ike Anambra, and I'm humbly representing my boss and my principal, the special advisor to the Anambra State Governor on Innovation and Business Incubation, Ms. Chinwe Okoli. I want to start by acknowledging the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, whose special vision and initiative brought into existence the Solution Innovation District, SID, as well as this webinar series. I also acknowledge the members of Anambra State Executive Councils and the entire leadership of Anambra State. I'd also like to acknowledge and welcome the ladies and gentlemen of the press who may be present on this webinar. Generally, I welcome everyone, especially to this webinar. So, this webinar series is brought to you by this Anambra State Solution Innovation District, SID. Solution Innovation District, SID, is the Innovation and Business Incubation Program of Anambra State, established by with the goal of activating and building a thriving innovation, technology, entrepreneurship ecosystem in Anambra State. The programs of SID include training and capacity building, equipping Anambra with various digital skills they need to adapt and to be successful in the global digital economy of today and the future. And then on this capacity and training, on this training and capacity building, we aim at training over 1 million in Anambra on different digital skills. Then we also have our startup supports, where we are growing, incubating, mentoring, and supporting startups to grow and succeed from Anambra State here. And we have a target of training 5,000 startups here in Anambra State. And then we also have our SMEs program, where we plan to train and support over 200,000 SMEs here in Anambra State. We want to equip by equipping an existing businesses and SMEs with the right knowledge they need to standardize and improve their progress and leverage the power of technology to grow and scale their businesses. To achieve our objective, SID continually roll out various programs that benefit Anambra and its residents. We have started programs such as the Level Up Anambra program, the Digital Training program. This program has trained over 20,000 in Anambra youths. With our first and second cohorts has already concluded, and we're planning for the third cohorts currently. We train them on different digital skills such as graphics design, website design, productivity tool, and digital marketing. So, and then we also have the ongoing Code Anambra program and software development training program, which teaches over 14 highly sophisticated digital courses that will not only impart knowledge, but equipped over 2,000 applicants of this Anambra program, of this program we're talking about now. Then the upcoming Anambra State Summit, which will be held on the second quarter of next year, and many more programs is upcoming. And also, we also had our Teens program, Teens Bootcamp program. Every holiday, we invite invite Anambra teenagers to come down to office for them to enroll on different tech fundamental skills, or tech fundamental programs, such as graphics fundamental, code fundamentals, and every other skills to enable them to engage them while on holiday. The Anambra Tech Drive webinar is a monthly series by SID that brings the Anambra innovation community together, where every month with special curated industry experts to share their knowledge, journey, and experts with the community. Ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome once again to this month's edition of Anambra Tech webinar series titled Tech Are Up, Building the Female Leaders in the Tech. Hello, can you still hear me? Hello? Mr. Pastor, please confirm if you can hear me. Hello, Pastor.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ike Anajemba, for your insightful opening remark. This actually underscores the importance of the session, why we are doing this, why we should care, and how you can get involved. Now we move on to the keynote speech, and with us today is our keynote speaker for today's event is the Special Advisor to the Governor of Anambra State on Innovation and Business Incubation, Honorable Chinwe Okole. Permit me to welcome her to Ma, you have the floor now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pascal. Everyone confirm you can hear me. Kindly confirm you can hear me. Pascal, can you hear me?
We can hear you, Ma. Yeah, we can.
All right, thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, because I know someone is joining us from India, from the US. Good morning, good evening, whatever the time is where you're joining us from. I'm really, really delighted to have all of you here joining us today. This is our 6th edition of the Anambra Tech Drive. And I'm really excited about it because we started the Anambra Tech Drive as a continuous way of engaging the people of Anambra State in our effort to actually mainstream technology and innovation in the state. So I'm just going to rest on already established protocol. Of course, I especially acknowledge Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwumasum, the CFR, on whose mandate we're doing all we do at the Solution Innovation District. Members of Anambra State Executive Council who may be here, the members of the State House of Assembly that may be joining us, the pressmen that may be here, and all of you fantastic young men and women joining us from different parts of the world, from different parts of Anambra State. Welcome, welcome to Anambra Tech Drive. So just like my colleague Ike Anajemba had just said, we started this Anambra Tech Drive because Mr. Governor established the Solution Innovation District with a very simple but very important mandate. I would say some people still do not quite understand what it is. And so I'm just going to say, just add a few things to what Ike has really said about the Solution Innovation District. So the Solution Innovation District, SID, was essentially set up to build and scale the innovation ecosystem, to activate the innovation ecosystem, the entrepreneurship ecosystem in the state. So what this simply means is that SID is a platform where you, as somebody from Anambra State, indigenous of Anambra or a resident of Anambra State, can innovate, can ideate, can create, can invent, where you can give your talents the wings to fly, where you can actually explore your potential as far as innovation, as far as technology, as far as entrepreneurship is concerned. And so this is it. Right now we have a physical location in Oka, the SID Center. There we have co-working space, we have training halls, we have digital skills lab, we have robotics lab, we have all kinds of spaces to really, encourage startups and digital tribe to grow. Remember, we have 3 buckets. Just like I said, we are building the Anambra Digital Tribe. This Anambra Digital Tribe are actually people who are competent in various digital skills, so competent that they will be competitive right here at home and exportable abroad. You can only export good things, right? So we're building that digital tribe such that when you look for expertise in different skill areas, you want to look to Anambra State. That's exactly what we're doing. And we have ample population of young people to really drive this. So Mr. Governor does not want the young people of Anambra State to just be consumers of innovation, but he wants them to be at the forefront of driving innovation, especially driving technological advancement right here in the States. So, and if you become competent in any digital skills, you can actually use it to get a job, or you can use it to build a startup. You can offer it as a service. You can build a business, all of those spectrum. And for those who are joining us for the first time, permit me to just say, Anambra State is a place known for business. Is a hub of SMEs. We have a lot of SMEs from Onitsha, main market. In fact, if you check it online, you will see it as a biggest market in West Africa. So there we have a lot of SMEs. Then Newi, the automobile city, I'll call it, whether bicycle, tricycle, cars, and all of that. Ogidi, I mean, so many markets here and there across the state. So, but you can imagine how technology can actually support the businesses that these people do, how technology can help them scale, how technology can help them make more money, get new customers, leverage e-commerce platforms to actually make more money. So all these in a nutshell, should I say, influence how we intervene, the kind of things we do, the programs we do, either to build startups, to groom SMEs, or to raise the Anambra Digital Tribe. In a nutshell, every other thing revolves around that. Of course, the governor is working so hard towards creating the infrastructure that enable the ecosystem to grow, such as the internet facility that he's doing right now with the 2,000 kilometer fiber optic that is being laid across the state. And he has granted free right of way to the companies laying that, so they're not paying any charge, right? Just to encourage everything possible to encourage the ecosystem to grow. So many other things that I had said before, or that we've continued to repeat in all our other programs. But right now, today, for the first time, we are really focusing on women. And we say the topic is Tech Her Up, building female leaders in tech. We think this is important because most times you go around where events about technology is happening, you see mostly men. You talk about the techies, you see mostly men. So the ladies or the young girls seem to be actually pulling behind. And that's actually why we thought this topic is very important at this time, Tech Her Up, building female leaders in tech. Yeah. Globally right now, there's a huge divide between the male and the female who are actually leading in the technology industry. But this gap, of course, is acknowledged globally. But here in Anambra, we want to start early, if this could be called starting early. We want to start early to actually sensitize our women, to sensitize our young girls, to let them know that they too can. Just like the spirit of typical Anambra girl, Anambra young person, who wants to actually do every other thing, who is actually typically ambitious to engage in as many things as possible. They're doing well in the academia, they're doing well in school and all of that. So we want them to also start embracing the opportunities in the tech ecosystem so that the women will not shy away from this field, right? So that over time, in the next few years, this gap will only shrink, right? We don't want to come back in the next few years and we're talking about a huge gap. So the concept of this Tech Her Up is a rallying cry for inclusivity, mentorship, and empowerment. is about recognizing the potential of every woman, every young girl, regardless of their age, background, experience. And again, providing them the necessary support and resources to help them ascend the ranks. Because as we're discussing, as you will hear from the amazing speakers who have been carefully chosen from different parts of the world, who are coming on this tech drive today with, you know, various experiences, wealth of experiences you definitely want to tap from, whether you want it from African perspective, the US, the Indian, whatever it is. So I would really encourage you to pick up your pen, don't get distracted, make sure to listen to our speakers, because feel free, you're going to be asking them questions as well, but you need to actually hear what they're saying so you know what was left out that you want to ask questions about. So we also, beyond this awareness that we're trying to create from today, we also making, you know, significant, should I say, commitment towards promoting and celebrating the achievement of women who are making significant strides in the tech industry. Because their stories will not just be a matter of celebrating their individual successes, but they are powerful narratives that can inspire a young girl out there, that can inspire a young woman out there. So, and we're also planning mentoring programs specifically targeting young women, mentoring programs, educational initiatives, networking opportunities, so that they can actually see those who are in this ecosystem, like the people, the speakers that are going to be speaking to us today, they are playing in this ecosystem already. So, and this networking is actually starting right here. So you're free to network right here online, and you're free to connect with them afterwards. And then watch out for other programs we're going to be rolling out that will be targeted at just women, because we want you to shine just the way you're shining in different ecosystems or different sectors. So this is not just about equal opportunities. When we support women in tech, when we support young girls to embrace STEM courses, to embrace courses in engineering, in computer science, in mathematics, and all of that, we're going to see not just equal opportunities, we're going to see diversity and inclusion. Because trust me, when you have more, when you have also women who are playing in any ecosystem, like the tech industry, so you have more balanced perspective, more inclusive perspective. Even the solutions that will be built will not be skewed. So you won't have solutions that are just that were just designed by men, which women are also supposed to use. You understand? So it will bring a lot to everything that impacts us, to the solutions that we see. There are different perspectives, experiences, problem-solving approaches. All of that will lead to more innovative and effective solutions for everybody. Of course, it will be a talent pool enrichment, yeah? You just don't have more men, you have also more women. It will empower women. So if we're talking about a lot more women being economically underprivileged, if I may use that word, if we empower women, if more women embrace tech, embrace the opportunities in the ecosystem, that means many of them will become more empowered, and that way they can even empower their children, their community. You know, they say train a woman and then you train a nation, right? It's still the same here. So if we want to see more women rising in the tech in Anambra State, more communities, more families, train one woman in tech, empower one woman in tech, she will naturally just empower a lot more people. So of course, role modeling, of course, women easily influence other younger people because they see, oh, if she could do it, that means I can, right? So, so much more. Of course, it's good for corporate reputation as well, because in the industries, in fact, in corporate boards these days, organizations actually use it as bragging rights that they have women on their board, or they have equal men and equal women. So we need women who are capable, who can get on those boards, right? And also improve the corporate reputation of not just the organizations, but also even the states right now in Anambra State. And of course, for global competitiveness. So much more than I can say. So ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important topic to all the Amazons, the young girls, the young women in Anambra State. If you know how you guys make us proud in different industries, that's how we want to see you guys also making us proud in the tech ecosystem. And that's why we're having this conversation today. We want to see you embrace technology. We want to see you see yourself that you can do this, just like every other thing you're doing, and also influence others. So this is just the beginning of our commitment towards actually deliberately supporting women in tech. So please feel free, open your mind, and ask questions that you don't understand, and make sure to connect with the Solution Innovation District, because we're going to continuously plan for hangouts, plan for mentorship sessions, plan for events that specifically target women. We have Code Anambra ongoing right now. We were quite deliberate in making sure that we have almost equal number of women to men. That was a deliberate action, because normally we had more men that applied than women, but we wanted to also have more women on the program learning core digital skills. And that program is going to run for the next 4 months, and it's totally free of charge. It's totally free of charge, brought to you by Mr. Governor. So if you do not know, you have a chance to learn. And if you do not, if you need an accountability partner or encouragement, the Solution Innovation District community is there to support you. So thank you all for coming today, and I want to say a big thank you to our speakers. I can already see some of them really ready to really share all they have with all of you today. So thank you all so much, and let's get it going. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Chimokole. Thank you for your wonderful speech. All you said are very much in line with our state governor's mantra of everything technology and technology everywhere. For some of us who may have 1 or 2 questions to ask, she's not just a keynote speaker, she's also the special advisor to the governor of Anambra State on innovation and business incubation. If you have any question to ask, we'll be taking just 2 questions because of our time. If you have any question, you could raise your hand or possibly drop your question in the chat section while I read it out. If you have any question, this is an opportunity for you to ask, but because of our time, we'll be taking just 2 questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pascal. I could see some people cannot even hear us because they have not turned on their videos. Sorry, their audio. Yeah, you can see I can hear you and can hear you in the group. So somebody needs to turn on their videos, but I think we just send them a message because they could not turn on their video, so they are not even hearing you. But I think you should proceed. If they have any question, we can always deal with it later, okay? Thank you.
Send in your questions. Use the chat box for your questions, please. We don't have time. So in the absence of questions, we'll be introducing our moderator for today, and he's no other person than Zikora. Our moderator for today is Zikora Chukwuka. Zikora Chukwuka is a dynamic leader and a tech professional with years of experience leading and working in teams across operations, HR, marketing, product development. He's the founder of Anambra Tech, the fast-growing tech community in Anambra State, and the CEO of Vessel Lab, a leading digital product studio in Nigeria, currently working with early-stage founders to launch industry-leading software products. Having seen the incredible impact technology brings both on a personal and societal level, Zikora is currently focused on driving technological initiatives in Africa through his non-profit programs and business ventures. He's the host of Startup Dev Podcast. Mr. Zikora, you are highly welcome.
Thank you so much, Pascal. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, awesome. I'm super excited to be here for this month's edition of the Tech Drive. And I am thrilled and honored to be moderating the session for this amazing topic. So it's very dear to my heart. We're talking about Tech Her Up, building female leaders in tech. So we wouldn't be wasting time. I believe it's going to be a very fun and interactive session. And it's my sincere desire that our listeners will be inspired, especially the ladies, to take action, as well as the men to make changes within their organizations, as well as policies that would ensure that there's more women participation in technology. Before moving forward and introducing our amazing speakers who will be taking us on this interesting panel session, I want to recognize observe all due protocols and recognize all dignitaries and personalities here on the call. Special mention to Ms. Chinwe for this opportunity and the amazing work that the team is doing, the SEC and every dignitary here. I duly acknowledge your presence, and to our listeners, this won't make any sense if you're not here. So thank you for joining, and yeah, we're going to go straight to the panel session. So I'll begin by introducing our speakers on the panel. I can see some of their faces, I can't find some of them here, but we'll be calling and having them acknowledge that they are on the call so that we can proceed. Pascal, just one more time, I need to know that you can still hear me clearly. Pascal, are you there? All right.
Yes,
Okay, awesome. All right, thank you. So I guess we'll be moving forward. So I'll start by introducing the first speaker on the panel, in the person of Nnenaya Udochu. Nnenaya Udochu is a senior analog engineer at Intel Corporation, driving the power delivery design and solutions for cloud customers in the data center platforms group. She holds an MSc and BSc in electrical engineering from the University of Texas at Arlington and Wichita State University. Her technical achievements have won her the 2022 WE Local Award for New Elite Emerging Engineering Leader and 2020 Black Engineer of the Year Award. Currently, she serves as a global coach for the Society of Women Engineers, Society of Women Engineers Leadership Coach Committee, empowering women in STEM-related fields and supporting Society for Women Engineers professionals and collegiate sections. Thank you so much for joining us, Nnenaya. Please, could you acknowledge your presence?
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you for joining us. All right, so moving on to our next speaker, in the person of Elizabeth Okaome. Elizabeth is an advocate for women in tech, who is passionate about getting women in tech. She has been a community manager in the tech ecosystem for 7 years with a focus on developer communities. She started off by volunteering to organize tech events and also being involved in these communities, which led to her being a co-organizer of Google Developers Group Benin, the largest tech community in Benin. She's the founder of Empower Her Community, a community of 2 years with over 6,000 women across 75 countries of the world that grooms women in tech skills, mentors, and pairs them with opportunities. Elizabeth currently leads the developer ecosystem at InterSwitch Group, where she fosters relationship between external and internal developers at InterSwitch and offers technical support to developers integrating the company's various APIs. She also leads programs and partnerships in developer community. Elizabeth, it's a pleasure to have you here. Could you acknowledge that you're on the call if you're here? All right. So I guess we can move on. I don't think Elizabeth is currently on the call. All right. So next on our speaker list is Joanne Opara. Joanne is a data analyst in Ireland who started her professional career after achieving her BSc in computer science. Her love for organization and her curiosity about data has led her down this path she's on today. Over the years, Joanne has worked in various IT fields, not limited to, but including IT networking and communications, software development, computer hardware, and she's currently building a progressive career in big data analysis. In her spare time, Joanne likes to listen to music or podcasts, doodle, or cook. She boasts about being a really great cook. Nice to have you on the call, Joanne. Are you here? Please, can you kindly acknowledge you on the call?
Hi, guys. Oh, hello. Good afternoon. And observing all due protocols. It's good to be here.
All right, awesome. Nice to have you on the call, Joanne. Welcome.
Thank you.
Right, and the final speaker, and definitely not the least, is the amazing Eloise Cotton Henry. Eloise is an ASQ certified software quality engineer with 30+ years experience in software quality assurance and testing. Eloise has a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics and Computer Science and an MBA in Global Management. She's currently employed at Rockwell Automation as a security process project engineer, audit coordinator, and quality management systems coordinator. She has a consulting company, eHerry Consulting Group, and is a licensed realtor and has worked 18 years in local government as a city council woman and council president. Hi, Eloise. Please could you kindly acknowledge you on the call?
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon. Glad to be here.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, ladies. I hope we are inspired by our lineup of speakers. We have very experienced and leaders right on the call, and we're going to have like a very impactful conversation. So just jumping right in so we can get started. I think we'll be starting with Eloise sharing the first question. So Eloise, could you speak to us about the gender disparities in the tech sector, right? What are the real issues and causes, and what are the implications of these disparities to the professional development and opportunities for women and girls? So we want to hear about the gender disparity. You've worked 30+ years, and you obviously must have seen firsthand some of the challenges that girls face. So could you just give us like a general overview and from your own perspective? Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Well, I see that there are cultural stereotypes. Some of the men think that women shouldn't be working in engineering or shouldn't be at the job, that we can't learn, that we're not strong enough if we need to do something that's heavy. Also, there's limited accessibility to opportunities. Sometimes there are more job positions open for men. I mean, they fill the slots as seeing more for men. Men are chosen over women. Often, if they have, based on who the panel are, they'll choose men more frequently than the women. The mentorship programs, sometimes we don't have the mentorship opportunities. I couldn't believe it. My director told me one day, he goes, I don't do mentoring. Later on, like within the week, I'm talking with a young lady and she goes, oh, he's my mentor. So they choose who they want to mentor. He was mentoring people. I couldn't believe it. The other one is harassment. Frequently, women are harassed on the job. It could be by their managers, it could be by their colleagues. It could be even in school. Teachers take grades and you think maybe you really don't know the subject, but professors are cheating you out of grades is what we experience here, and I've experienced personally. Another thing is peer pressure. Sometimes, and I see it often, is that as young people are growing up, they're embarrassed or ashamed to be known as being intelligent or smart. So they don't want to pursue jobs or careers that are more challenging or that may be more stereotypically filled by men. So those are the things I see. Cultural issues, accessibility opportunities, mentorship, harassment, and peer pressure.
All right, thank you so much. So adding on top of that, what would you say are like the implications? Because these are the issues, right? They're very glaring and they're very clear, and that's why we're having this conversation. Why is it important? How does it affect the professional development of women and ladies? Yeah.
Well, the thing is that in all ways possible, we have to reach back, look down, try to bring others, young ladies forward by sharing with them or letting them know there are opportunities, how to get started, share your story whenever you get an opportunity, and help young people know that you may not really know that you can do this, but just keep trying, continue to study, continue to pursue something, go in the direction. And that's how it happened for me. Is somebody's told me when I was 13, you should be an engineer. You like math, you're good at science. So instill in them the faith and let them also know too that from the minute they walk out of their doors, that people are looking at them and they could possibly be the person who could give them their opportunity. I was on the way to a career fair and we were taking planes and a lot of these young people were on the flight to the same fair. We were looking for employees to hire. A lot of the girls got on the plane with their hair bunnies on and pajamas. And we thought, wow, do they know that we are people who could possibly hire them, but they did not, change their clothes for the flight on the plane. To take a plane, you're in public. So everything you do, you send a message to people. And my mother used to always say, you don't have to tell everybody what you're going to do. If there are people in your background telling you to quit, don't start, you're not smart enough, just keep reading. And if you get any setbacks, which I've seen people, friends of mine, they had to have children at 15 or 16, and their own family told them, oh, you'll never be anything, you'll never finish school. Just show people, do it. You don't have to keep telling them, I'm going to do it. Do it, stick with it, read, resume your path. So that's my message.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a great response. Thank you so much. Nenaya, we'll be moving to you now, right? So I know you currently work as a leader in the Society for Women Engineers, and that's remarkable. Congrats. So we would like to know what in the global context here, what steps do you think can be taken to ensure that we have equal access to leadership for women, so that it's not just restricted to leadership positions that concerns other women, but like generally on the global context and in other areas that includes both men. For example, we can see a shining light here. Miss Chimi Okoli is leading innovation here in Anambra State. So, but what more can be done to ensure that women have access to this leadership role alongside their male counterparts, in your own opinion?
Okay, so I feel like education, the awareness of education is very important, encouraging a lot of our young girls to continue to participate in STEM-related fields, like taking engineering courses. The aspect of thinking, positively as well. Like my other, panel speaker, Eloise said, just thinking you can do it, acting in that manner, taking up the challenge, having faith in yourself, and having that positive drive. In terms of the industry, to help with also more women leadership, I feel like there's a lot of bias, unconscious bias that we could face in the industry, even in school as well. So I feel like, having these training programs that help not just whoever may be the managers, but to help co-workers, colleagues, classmates have those unconscious bias trainings that can help people probably steer away from any stereotypes they may have that women are not very capable at doing what it is they want to do, especially in the field of engineering, the STEM related field. I also feel like implementing good mentorship programs. As women, sometimes we tend to be shy, reaching out to people or wanting to take on new challenges as opposed to men who just go out there and just do it. I feel like, women should feel more, encouraged and empowered to do those things, take the lead, not being scared in trying out, new leadership opportunities, raising of hands and saying yes more than saying no. I think that could really help in taking on those roles, those leadership roles and positions. I also feel with mentor programs, mentorship, this mentee mentorship program is a two-way street. If you find yourself in a situation whereby your organization or your school is maybe not offering that, you can still find someone that maybe you admire, maybe someone that's already working as an electrical petroleum engineer, whatever discipline it is that you admire. Have that person as a mentor, learn a lot from them, and try and apply that in your own, day-to-day activity. So I would say, having those unconscious bias trainings, reaching out to people, having mentor, being participating in mentor mentee programs, having the ability to say yes more than no, taking on new challenges and being more positive, having more positive thinking towards yourself and the things you want to acquire and achieve. I think these kind of like influence, and help women in these leadership, opportunities, taking it, and also helping our industry as well in creating those opportunities for them. I also know today a lot of recruiting, people tend to want to try and recruit, women as well. So I know expanding our recruiting programs where we try to include, minorities, more say women in our diversity and inclusion, I guess recruiting strategy that's happening right now in the industry, that also really helps in getting women in some of these, leadership opportunities as well.
Right, awesome. Thank you so much. I like the thoughts around education, because looking at all of our speakers' profile, including Ms. Chinwe, you see that education was very important. I see BSc, MSc, MBA. So I think it's very essential to actually drive and have more women, because by the time they do well in these different areas, it's easy to actually put them into leadership position. Thank you so much for that, Nenaya. Joanne, we'll be moving to you. So while we want to have like a balanced conversation, so while we are like talking about the things that we could do, the government could do, creating awareness, Joanne, we want to talk about what ladies should do. So you've worked across diverse industries in tech, and tech, as like many other industries, mainly male dominated. You've built a career for yourself, and a successful one at that. What exact steps do you think ladies that are listening right now should do to break this jinx? Yes, we know it's hard, but you've done it. You are like an example that they can follow. So what steps should they take personally, in terms of the spirit of taking responsibility to achieve some of these successes you guys have achieved in your career, even as women in technology? Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, okay, I'm just going to say, like, from my own point of view, how things were, or how it was for me. So, honestly, I feel tech, because I'm like in the IT field, I feel the IT field is very welcoming to women. I personally feel that, of course, there's the whole gender thing, gender politics going on in every sector, actually. But I personally feel women are actually encouraged to go into tech. Like, as a woman in tech, it gives you an extra wow factor. People are always, very excited, to see a woman, pursuing tech, like, okay, this is nice, showing that, we can also do it. So I personally would say, if you're out there and you're just starting out, do not feel discouraged. Something I struggled with when I started out, because I did my first degree in like computer science. I started out not knowing what exactly I wanted, and IT is so broad, I feel there's a struggle with finding where exactly you're going to fit in, what's the best fit for you. And for me, what I did, I actually ventured into almost everything. I took internships, I took courses online. I tried different things, just trying to figure out, what do I like best, what speaks best for me, or where do I feel myself excelling without struggling too much, to catch up. And the thing is, all areas of IT are very important. We depend on every other area. It's not just one area that's the best. While you're coming in to IT, I feel it will be very important to also ask questions. Just don't take what everyone is saying or where everyone is going. You know, it's good to ask questions. If you're starting out now, it's one thing to say, for instance, I'll just give a rough example. Say cybersecurity was very hot cake a few years back. You know, everyone's like, oh, into going into cyber, and you know, there's a whole lot of influx like there. And then down the line, it's like, oh, everyone's going into data analytics, you know, it's the main thing. What I did was, after finding out what I wanted to do, I looked, because I'm actually just starting. I'm here. I'm privileged to be here with people who have 30 years plus experience. So that's really great. But I'm just starting out. And what I did was I looked forward to what will be coming up next. What's next? Where do we go from next? You know, for instance, I personally decided to go into artificial intelligence. I'm very curious about that. I feel that's like the next step. So I looked at it in such a way that if I build myself career-wise, like I want to be able to, what I'll be bringing to the table should matter. It should be something very, because if I'm building myself now based on now, because tech grows, it's always expanding. And, you know, what you think is very important now would have maybe progressed way beyond it in the next 3 years or 5 years. So, what I just want to advise people who are starting out is basically just find what's best for you. There's no wrong place to start, no matter what part of IT it is. Just find the best part for you and just focus on growing yourself. You know, in no matter how little it is, just focus on just growing yourself. Basically, it's good to find mentors. I do struggle with find who is the right fit for me. Everyone says find mentors, but you know, how do you know this is the right person to mentor you? That's something I do struggle with, but I do think we're on the right path. You know, just do research, and feel free to, if you're in school, feel free to talk to your lecturers. I do feel that really worked for me when I was in school. My lecturer was able to guide me, you know, to tell me this is it. Maybe a certain course we took in school, I found maybe interest in it. I went back, I spoke to my lecturers, and they really did guide me. So like mentors may not be like, you know, a very big person in position. Your mentor could be, you know, someone in school. It could be your boss. You know, it could be your friend's boss. You know, you like this thing, and a mentor is just basically someone who has more knowledge than you, who would be able to maybe guide you to a certain extent. So feel free to talk to people, because you would not get the right information if you don't open your mouth and talk. You know, and there are people walking around with a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. So it will be good to talk to people, and also do your research yourself. There's also a thing about growing, you know, taking certifications, doing things. Yes, it's very important to do those, because that's how you build yourself, you grow yourself. But just don't take certifications randomly. Just don't go randomly, go doing anything anywhere, because sorry, but you may just, no knowledge is a waste, but I personally feel you may just waste your time. So it's best to kind of know where you want to go, and then you walk towards that, instead of just doing, you know, whatever is available, whatever you hear. So if you just have a tailored path for you, it's going to help you climb up faster than just being all over the place. Thank you.
All right, awesome, Joanne. That was really, really awesome. And I like the fact that you were really practical about it. So you made a statement that women really are encouraged to get into technology. I'll be curious to know if that's the case across all regions and across all our speakers' experiences, and probably those that are listening, if it's the same wherever you're joining in from. But yeah, I believe that we're at that like you said, technology is very welcoming. Me, I know personally, I actually encourage, I love, I'm excited about the prospect of working with female engineers, because I feel they are more dedicated. I'm sorry, but that's my personal experience. So moving on, Eloise, we want to know, in your experience, what are some of the initiatives and programs that have actually worked in ensuring or pushing a more inclusive and gender supportive environment, both across corporates or in technology generally? Are there specific initiatives you've seen? Because while we've made progress, there's still a lot of places and areas where there is still a lot of gender bias and lack of inclusion of the female gender. So what are some of the programs you've seen successful that we could apply and we could look at and model after in order to ensure that we have more female leaders in technology?
What I've seen is the internship programs, including as early as 12, 13, 14. They're boot camp programs for a lot of the young girls here in the United States. Lots and lots of boot camp programs, lots of workshops also. The corporations put on, sometimes they do the boot camps too. They bring in the girls at certain times. We have the Software Women in Engineering group, or one of the other employee resource groups might sponsor something, and we have in a group of tech girls and or students. We have Manufacturing Day, where we go to the Science Center and we teach. Our company sponsor a lot of these programs. We bring all the students in and we show them all the things that we do in terms of technologies within our company. But there are also hundreds of other corporations there that does that. We have leadership development programs also, where students can start from high school onward and continue on. They have to reapply a lot of times, but most of them, once they're accepted, they are re-accepted into the programs. So they complete some time during their high school, I think from 9th to 12th grade. And then while they're in college, they can also be working within our company and working on real challenging projects. And then once they get into the part where they're in college in the leadership development program, they work throughout the company in different areas for about 6 months, including being relocated, sometimes even externally outside the United States, depending on how much money the company has. The other thing is there are a lot of free workshops that take place also. There are a lot of different workshops put on by different technology organizations or certifying bodies in regards to positions in engineering or quality or security. And as Joan said earlier, sometimes if students can figure out what they want to do, they can really direct themselves toward some of these free trainings. There's lots of free trainings and or organizations. The American Society for Quality offers free workshops lots of times every Wednesday by someone called the Westfall team. So there are lots of trainings that you can get if you're part of an organization that you've joined, or else just because you went out there and Googled some on the internet. So directing your focus on what you might want to be. One of the things I learned is that in the area of software quality assurance and software testing, a lot of people don't have degrees, and even cybersecurity hackers, they just keep learning and teaching themselves. And by learning different things through workshops or getting certificates and some kind of training and mentorship. So I've learned, especially since COVID and everybody's doing more virtual, there's so much more free training out there. Our company also employ a lot of people from, global employees, as a matter of fact. And some of them don't have degrees. They just learned how to do things really, really well. They spend a lot of time learning. And like I said, I work in cybersecurity. We have white hat hackers. I don't want to say black hat, but some of them are so skilled that they could be criminal cybersecurity people, but they're not. They're working for our corporation, but they just taught themselves mostly everything they know without going outside their company. I mean, outside our company. A lot of them just learn how to hack by workshops and focusing on, like standards. There are different standards that govern what we do. So there's a lot of learning. As Joan said, focus on what you want to learn and go in that direction. A lot of it is out there for free. So learn is what I'm recommending.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for that, Eloise. Learn. And I really hope ladies on the call are being inspired, showing that no matter the field of tech you actually decide to go into, there is a myriad opportunity for you. You don't really need to, like you said, a lot of them are not, should I call it, university trained. It's just getting really good at what you do and taking advantages of the programs that are around you. For example, Code Anambra and all that's going to be happening in Anambra State. Thank you so much for that, Eloise. So moving on to Nenaya, I'll be asking concerning the job market. It's a different scenario. I don't really know your experience, but I've heard stories on how it's sometimes a bit difficult for ladies, and when it comes to promotions, when it comes to moving careers, when it comes to getting a job alongside their male counterparts. So you've been there, you've actually experienced it, and you're sailing your career. So what specific strategies will you give to ladies who are on the call and are like, okay, I've actually learned the tech skill, but I'm having a hard time landing a job because I'm a woman, right? Are there like specific strategies you will share to help them actually navigate the job, or just generally share your own personal experience if that's not been the case for you, and so that they can learn and essentially like navigate the job market in tech? Thank you.
So, okay. So that's a very, I guess, pressing question, because we all want to grow in our career. So I will say that, visibility of work, sometimes we all go to work, we just want to do our best, the 9 to 5. But for me, I always try to make sure, understand, first of all, the work that you're doing, the contributions you're making to whatever project it is. What is the impact of that project on a broader scale, right? There are projects that may be low impact that we all still do, but then understanding what the impact of what your contribution is, and then more so visibility of work. Visibility of work being that, is your manager aware of the work that you're doing? Does your second level manager see the impact and visibility of the work you're doing? Basically, you have to learn how to self-advocate for yourself, wear your own badge, speak, on the work you do, the value you bring to your team. The second thing I would say is, there's mentors and then there's sponsors. Mentors, like it was stated, people who you kind of like admire, who you feel know more than you do. But I feel like, the higher you also go in your career, sponsors who are people who might be maybe on some like executive level or director level, who have some level of influence that can advocate and speak on your behalf and needs. They go very hand in hand, having a mentor, having a sponsor. Then in terms of the job market, naturally finding a job is, never easy. Having to know what exactly it is you want to do, what type of career or profession you like to pursue. Tailoring your resume to suit that criteria. Then looking for resources where you could build your skills, joining organizations. That really helps. I'll mention a few, like SWE, Society of Women Engineers, is an international organization. There are sections there in Lagos, SWE, University of Lagos, both the collegiate and professional sections are out there. Another, other aspects, I think, within Africa, but I know that chapter just because I managed them right there in Lagos, Nigeria. When you join these organizations like SWE, NSB, National Society of Black Engineers, they tend to have some of these free resources where you could learn new skills, brush up on whatever you feel that you're lacking or could look great on your resume that could help you land a better job. Udemy, I don't know if you all have heard of Udemy. Udemy is another great site that has, I think, a lot of like skills where you could go there, learn, sign up for these courses, and then, build up your technical skills, non-technical skills, whatever they may be, that will just make you look better on your resume. And then some of these organizations, including some universities, have like career fairs. Always put yourself out there for career fairs. As women, people want to maybe, hire more women, especially, minorities and women of color. But, putting yourself out there, looking for these opportunities where you could, share your resume, networking with people. Networking is such a powerful tool. Whether, you're still in school or whether you're, working in the industry, having the ability to network with people and, building your, networking pool really helps people you meet. People have a lot of information and knowledge to share with you, talking with them. People may be shy, but again, it's really, putting yourself out there and just taking those steps. So I'll say good networking skills, being very self-aware and advocating for yourself and the value of the work you do on a project, whether you're in school or in, corporate, world working. I think those are very important. Being part of organizations related to your discipline, like I said, SWE, NSB, there's SPE, Society of Petroleum Engineers. That really helps, and just building your skills daily with these courses that are available. I think that would really make someone very, at least hot or positioned in a good place for the job markets.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Nina. I really hope the ladies on the call and everybody, in fact, have been taking down notes, because I've actually learned a lot so far, and I'll be applying some of the things I've actually learned on the call. So before we go into questions from the audience, because I can ask all the questions in the world, but at the end of the day, the ladies on the call are the ones who this event is for. So would really, really want to get your questions and have our speakers give answers to them. So we'll be taking the final question for Joanne before we go to the Q&A from the audience. So guys, if you have questions, please put your thoughts together and get ready to ask questions to any of our speakers. So Joanne, the final question, it's going to be should I call it a mix of two questions? So number one is, would you agree that the world is shifting towards employing more women, right? In terms of corporate, because during Nenaya's answer, she spoke about the fact that organizations are trying to hire more women, and you also mentioned that women are more encouraged to go into technology. So I just want to just give us a little insight as to how the corporate world actually approaching gender inclusion. Then the final thoughts would be, I mentioned a lot of professional organizations that ladies could join. Are there any specific ones you've actually benefited from that you recommend and say, okay, Anambra ladies, Anambra girls listening who wants to break into tech, join this. This was helpful for me. You should actually look into it. Thank you.
Okay. Oh God, what were those questions? So firstly, yeah, the thing is, when, for instance, let's say you're applying for a job, usually they would collect your data. They would ask, are you male or female? So what I believe is companies would check maybe male to female ratio. So when you're employing, they could, in as much as your experience does matter, if you're a woman and you actually look like you know what you're doing, or even if you don't, of course, during the interview, you have to look like you know what you're doing. They would be a little inclined towards hiring you. I don't know, the company I work for, I think we're we're more women than men. Like in my department, I would say maybe ratio is like 4 women to 1 man. So they are really they really try to encourage it. It could just be random, or maybe they are really trying. And I feel companies would also like to not to look bad, so hence they will try to encourage hiring more women, hiring people of color, things like that. So I would just advise, don't limit yourself. Don't think, oh, you don't stand a chance. No, you do stand a chance. If there are 10 men, 1 woman, girl, honestly, I do think you do stand a very high chance than when they're like 10 women, 1 man, So I just want to encourage you, put yourself out there. As for organizations that would help you take you to where you're going to, I wouldn't lie. Honestly, like maybe in Nigeria, I don't know them, So I feel the best place for you to ask would be, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to just excel yourself, or you're looking for internship programs to grow, or you're just looking to learn, like, because there are some organizations that do things like maybe they have trainings online. You take trainings online, and after that, at the end of your training, they'll try to maybe coach you, put you in touch with maybe hiring personnel or something, just to try to get you to fix you somewhere, just do internship. But I don't know any Nigeria that would encourage these things. I'm sure there are a couple, and maybe my other speakers can help me, give a list of them. But I feel like if you go for these things, no matter where you are, no matter where you're starting from, if you feel you have no experience, you never studied computer science or computing or IT, and you want to break into the market, there are actually things put in place. There are trainings put in place. You could do it on your own accord. You could do it on your own, or if you feel you need a guide, there are trainings put in place that could, help you take you to where you want to go to. Sorry, is there a question you asked I've not touched on? Because I'm not sure if I...
Yeah, I think you pretty much answered the entire question. Thank you so much, Joan.
Thank you.
Yeah, you pretty much answered the entire question. Thank you so much. All right, guys. So we'll be going to Q&A. While we are waiting for questions, I think somebody has dropped one already. So MC, how is the question gonna be? Should they drop it via text so I read them out to any of our speakers, or are they gonna request the mic?
I think using the chat box would be better.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I would work with that. So I think before we go to the Q&A, I think one thing we need to take out from this conversation is just looking at these women from Eloise to Joanne to Nenaya, is looking at the fact that they are actually leaders and trailblazers in their field, and should be inspired by the fact that they've come this far, right? I think one of the most important things that we've actually taken here is the fact that from their own experience, you discover that tech is actually welcoming to the women folk, right? Because obviously it might be difficult for you to be a fire service, even there are a lot of fire service, female in fire service and female soldiers, but tech is something that is very welcoming to the female gender. And because of that, doesn't mean we should settle for less. One of the most important things they brought out here is the importance of learning, improving yourself, going for certifications, getting mentorship. That's the way you can become a leader. So without further ado, let's quickly jump into questions. Please, guys, if you have questions, throw more light in. So this is from Chinemelum Okolo, and I think she's directing this question to Joanne. She says, please, a random question based on what Opara is saying right now. As a young lady aspiring to build a career in tech with no knowledge of which field, that is data analysis and web development, is which is more sustainable and welcoming for ladies? Thank you. So she wants to know which field is more sustainable and welcoming to ladies. Are there areas in tech that are more female friendly than others. So yeah, I think that's what you want to find out.
Okay, personal experience. I've dabbled into these things. I ran away from software development. It's a personal thing, you know. For me, I did see maybe web development or software development as tasking. It needs your 100% into it. You need a whole lot of patience with yourself, with your system, everything. So for me, I tried it and I was like, oh, I honestly don't have the mental stress to carry this on, you know. So I did data analytics. I love data. I love to play with data. And so data analysis has been for me, it's data analysis is a bit of everything. So I do love it. So both are welcoming, but for instance, in school, when I was studying computer science, you could easily see men who could boys than men who would do things like hackathon. They don't mind spending the whole night staying awake, writing codes. They're not sleeping. It was so much fun to them, not to me. Not to me, you know. So I honestly think it depends on you, you know, what you like to do, what you feel you can carry as a person, and then you just do it. Because I don't believe in doing things halfway. If you're going to do something, you have to do it very well. And that's the only way you can stand out. So if you don't know, I would advise you to try both and see how it is. Personal experience, that was just what I shared. But for you, it can be different. So don't choose. One thing I've noticed is so many people be doing so many things in like the IT field. It's so big, you know, up to cyber security, DevOps, cloud computing, software development, artificial intelligence, really, really huge. But feel free to try things until you meet what you found. And there's no, how would I put it, rush. Don't be like, oh, you're very way behind. You're not way behind, you know. Just take your time and do it. And honestly, when you do see what suits you, it's going to be much more easy to, you know, put yourself out there to even challenge yourself to doing more things. So that's kind of how, but I won't say which is, you know, which field you would find. But honestly, I do feel software development, you'd find less women there because it takes a strong heart, you know. So to do that one, for me, that's my experience.
All right, thank you so much, Joanne. I like the fact that you are very practical about answering the questions. I think it makes it more relatable. Thank you. So Eloise, I would want to get your thoughts on this, but I'm going to add like a follow-on question that's kind of similar. So it says, for a woman who knows nothing on tech, what do you advise the person to do or start from? I think it's a bit similar. So maybe you could share your thoughts on this current question, then equally try and answer for somebody who is just starting out a lady. Where should they start from? How do they navigate the vast world of the entire fields in technology to choose, okay, this is where I'm going to fix my tent and actually build a career in?
Okay, for me, and I train a lot of people who worked around me who knew nothing about, you know, software in particular. So I started out in quality assurance. Quality assurance, it touches everything. I always say good, bad, ugly, limited, unlimited, whatever way. But quality is something that touches everything. So I started out in quality assurance, but as a result of that, I was called a software quality assurance engineer. So I had to test medical systems. But if you can learn how to test a system and know everything about that system, you can do anything for the company or for that product. So I liked learning about testing and quality assurance because it touches everything. You can work in any area of the organization. You can do sales, you can do marketing, you can do engineering, you can do software development, you can do just testing, you can do cyber hacking. And the thing is, kids are basically born with a cell phone in their hand nowadays. So I think everybody has some kind of tech skills. You may not give yourself credit for it because when I was growing up, we didn't even have computers initially. And we did not, only NASA had them, but we did not have them. So when it came to, for me, segueing into this industry, I learned to test systems. And I moved around, I did different jobs. And eventually I realized, you know, if you can find people's problems and a solution for their problem, you can do almost anything. And that's how I got lots and lots of promotions. I looked at it not too long ago at what I had achieved in my life. And I realized in one company, I stayed there 10 years, but I left like here or there for a year or so, and I would go back. In 10 years, I had gotten a $70,000 increase. I started making $27,000 a year when I was there. And it was all about quality assurance and testing. And by the time I left after 10 years, I was making $97,000. So I thought, wow, that was pretty good. But the bottom line is a lot of the stuff I just taught myself. They said, well, you know, go test the system. I'm thinking, well, number one, you're going to have to turn this system on some kind of way. And this should happen, that should happen. And a lot of times they may give you a test script. And you can follow that test script, but then you go like, what if? What if you do this? And what if you did that? So as my career progressed, I became smarter about putting so many more pieces together and making processes better for organizations and tracking problems. So I think, like I said before, learn. But the more you know about any system or anything that you're doing, the more valuable you will be to any organization. And that's why I like quality assurance. And not only that, it's the back door. People think, oh, it's just a tester over there, or they're just in quality. So you're not being bothered or hindered as much as when people are thinking, oh, you're trying to climb the ladder to be senior software developer or the manager of this area. They don't care. They just think that's just a tester over there. Well, that's just somebody working in quality. So my thing is segue through the back door if you can find a back door in any way with any opportunities. And that's what I did. Software quality and testing, you can get there. That's how I even got into cybersecurity. Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for that, Eloise. I like the fact that you are, should I say, pushing more ladies towards the quality assurance field. And also, and also like the fact that Joanne is like, do what's easy, which is like maybe some no-code rules. But at the end of the day, Nina, I would like to also get your thoughts on this. And maybe while in the mix, considering the fact that you're like a leader in the Society of Women Engineers, could you maybe share scholarship opportunities? Somebody asked, please, are there organizations you would recommend for scholarships? So maybe while giving a response, you could equally throw that in. Yeah, how to please, yeah.
Okay, so I will say like Society of Women Engineers does give scholarships. Of course, you have to join different sections. I know different chapters may have their own way of giving scholarships. It could be based on merit or anything at all. Like the section, for example, that I'm with, the professional section, we tend to give out scholarships to some universities. So maybe some school chapters out in Nigeria or their affiliates, could do that as well. I know Society of Petroleum Engineers is, I think, really well known back in Nigeria as well, and some schools may have it, considering that it is oil and gas that is very driven back in Nigeria as well. So SPE is there for those that are doing petroleum engineering or reservoir engineering. I know IEEE is another organization for people doing electrical engineering that tend to develop these these scholarships. I will say, for me personally, when I joined NSB, National Society of Black Engineers, it was one organization that helped me get my first internship. And then, they offered scholarships through that organization as well. So I don't know if there's an NSB in Nigeria, but I do know that there's one in Ghana. But regardless of what the organization may be, I think most of these international organizations or maybe smaller organizations within Nigeria may offer these scholarships. Most of them may be based on merit, like if you have good grades or if it's just to help with like funding for school fees. Those are really available as well. Okay. Did you have any other question?
I think that's pretty much it, except maybe you want to add to the previous conversation around getting started. All right.
Okay, getting started. So I would say like knowing what you want to do, it could always, change. For example, if you want to be a software engineer, you do know that you need to code. So I guess, if you even Google, these skills, these career paths, there's a lot of information there on what the coursework may look like, just reading and being knowledgeable, or what's hot in the market right now, trying to join the tech industry. Right now you may see machine learning and artificial intelligence. That's an aspect of computer science, electrical engineering. You could also see data science. I will also say maybe you could start off with maybe after reading and trying to know what really interests you. Do you like to build things? Do you want to go into civil engineering or mechanical engineering? The next step would be, how do I build some of these, skills? It could be taking free courses or joining webinars and just listening to people or topics that they talk about. I feel that is a good starting point. So you're maybe not a little bit too overwhelmed, but just intriguing your interests first, and then diving more into what steps do I really need to take to get there. Education. Do I need a master's program or bachelor's program, or do I just need some certificates to build my skill sets, coding skills, whatever it may be. I feel like that those places would be a good starting point. Knowing what you want to do, and then just looking for free coursework or webinars out there, reading more about it, and just continue to intrigue your interest. And then knowing maybe if you really want to go, pursue a degree in that area.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nina. Thank you so much, speakers. And for those who ask questions, thank you so much. I saw a question around you being in the Code Anambra training and asking where you fit in after my training. I believe as we wrap up, Ms. Chime will be shedding more light on that. But I just want to kind of like wrap up by saying this. If you observe, all our speakers have one thing in common. I think one of the things that really stood out is the fact that it doesn't really matter where you choose. We know how everybody wants to obsess over where's the hot cake. You discover that we have a data analyst who is currently interested in AI. We have quality assurance tester, and so irrespective of your field, at the end of the day, you are the one that's going to make out what it's going to be for you, right? As long as you're really good at what you do. Think, was it Joanne and then I talked about visibility and showing your work, right? You would excel in your career. Then I think someone said, don't be scared of moving around, right? If you try something, it doesn't work, it probably is so hard for you. You can always move around. That's the beauty of tech, right? You can wake up one morning and decide that you want to become a blockchain engineer out of the blues, and you can actually do so. So there is no limit for you in technology. For the lady asking where you fit in after this, we've shared thoughts around standing out. We've shared thoughts around finding jobs. But more importantly, considering the fact that you are connected to Solution Innovation District, you can be sure that you're in good hands. So I just want to use this moment to thank our speakers. While we are about to wrap up, we dropped the link to all of the social platforms for the Solution Innovation District in the chat. Ensure you follow SID across all social media platforms. With this, I think I'm going to hand over to our MC. Thank you so much, ladies, for sharing your insights and for this insightful session. I learned a lot personally, and I believe all of the ladies on the call learned a lot. So it would also be cool if we could connect with you. So maybe a LinkedIn URL, something that the ladies can actually connect with you, if that's okay. Pascal, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Moderator, and thank you, panelists. On behalf of our State Governor, Professor Chukwumacha Soludo, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Innovation and Business Incubation, my own very boss, Honorable Chinwe Okolie, and all of us here at Solution Innovation District. I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to you all for joining us today. Your engagement, your insightful questions, and your genuine enthusiasm actually made this program special. yeah, we are looking forward to working together and see how we could contribute to bridging the gap, the gender gap in our tech sector. Before we continue, I would want each and every one of us to turn on our videos so we could take a group picture. Mr. Ike will help us with the pictures. Mr. Ike, if you're ready, let us know. Kindly turn on your videos, please. Mr. Ike, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, let us know where you're done. Please turn on your video, everyone. Mr. Ike, are you on it?
Yeah, I'm on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm okay. I'm done.
Okay, thank you very much. We have an announcement here from Solution Innovation District. This is to inform us that we'll be having a stakeholder engagement towards domesticating of the startup arts here in Anambra State. Kindly watch out for the venue and date as we post them on our social media pages. Also, before you leave, remember to follow Solution Innovation District on all our social media platforms, and also be sure to take part in our various programs. Currently, we are having the Code Anambra program, and after the Code Anambra, we'll also look forward to rolling out more programs. Yeah, thank you. And if you have any question, you can as well drop your questions, and remember to follow our panelists on their social media handles. Yeah, glad to have you all here. Of course, you all really made this program a success. Thank you all so much. Yeah. If you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section. Remember that the gospel doesn't end here. Go and preach the good news. Like myself, of course, like while growing up, I had passion for engineering, but then somehow I settled for art, not because I wanted to, but then the situation down here, my school then it was a village school anyway, so we didn't have the opportunity. We never had a strong STEM teacher, and then of course most of my friends opted for art. No, you are called to the principal's office and you're asked to art or science. Since everybody's going for science, we all had to go for. Everybody was going for art, so we all had to go for art. Like our panelist here said, Nenaya, she actually said something so striking. She said, "Do not follow the crowd." She said, "Do not follow the crowd. You should ask questions. Find out what is best for you and focus on growing yourself." Yes, for me, in my case, I actually followed the crowd. I joined them to go for art, and then somehow this is where I am today. But that's fine. There's still time for us to kind of rewrite our wrongs. Our kids are coming up. Our younger ones are coming up. Let's take this gospel outside this webinar session. Let's go out and preach STEM to the people. Of course, STEM is very much important. Why there's no program, no course, no discipline is higher than the other. But then I think STEM, we all need STEM in our life endeavors. Yeah. If you have any question, please use the chat box to drop your questions. And we look forward to having you in our next edition of Anambra Tech Drive. Yeah. Thank you once again for joining us.
Yes, sorry, just to pipe in the spirit of speaking out, Mrs. Harry, I would actually like to connect with you on LinkedIn because you are doing certain work I'm interested in. I'm not even interested in doing this within the next 1 year or 2 years. It's like a certain long-term plan. And I would like to connect with you because I would like to pick your brain. I would like to get more information and so I can do it the right way, even if it's not something I'm looking to do now, it's long term. I would like to, make sure the steps I'm putting in place, I'm on the right path. So I would like to connect with you. I don't know if we call this a little mentorship because, okay, and I also want to say one more thing. When I started out, I wasn't exactly sure how my path or my career was going to go. One of my first, aside, I did certain jobs, but I'm going to start from where it started to make sense because I've done software networking and whatnot. I worked with Galaxy Backbone in Abuja, but I did a software development job. I worked as a software developer, a front-end developer for a company that was providing EHR solutions to government hospitals, in Nigeria. And then when I moved here, my first student job, I worked similar in healthcare. And my current job, it's still in healthcare. So basically, I've done 3 different jobs, very different, all in the healthcare sector. So what am I trying to say is, moving forward, you can try to see the pattern in jobs you've worked, where they say they're looking for experiences and they're calling several years of experience, even if you feel you don't have that experience, like in IT now. Even if I feel maybe I don't have that experience, if I look back and I see, oh, I've had over the years, I've worked in different parts of healthcare sector doing all different things, but the only thing they all have in common is they're all relating to healthcare. It can help me build a career in healthcare as an IT personnel, where we can be anywhere. If you're working in IT, it's not just IT. It can be IT in healthcare. You can be IT in engineering. You can be literally anywhere. So you could use your past experiences to also shape where you are at and where you're going to, instead of just looking at where you want to go, you could, have a look back and see, oh, this is what I've been doing. This is the kind of experience I've gathered over the years. I have knowledge on this thing. For instance, I'm doing data analysis. I now have interest in doing quality because where I work now, we make sure we use data to make sure the quality of healthcare is up to par for the citizens. So eventually I would like to, be in the whole quality assurance, data quality in healthcare eventually. And I know Mrs. Harry, she has experience in quality assurance, software testing. And while would always use softwares to provide solutions, in healthcare. That's something I've noticed over the years. So I want to do this thing eventually in a few years' time, and I've met someone here that I know has this experience. So I would like to link up with her and just pick her brain a little so I can. So thanks for this platform. This is really good for me, actually. Thank you.
Hello, and for our panelists, you might want to drop your LinkedIn, the link to your LinkedIn profile on the comment section for some that might want to follow up after now. I think that would be helpful to us. Yeah, thank you. So for those still around, if you have any question, kindly drop it on the chat section.
Sorry, I just tend to talk a lot. One more thing I just remembered. The good thing about IT is you can be anywhere and work anywhere. Don't think location, don't allow location be a hindrance to you. That's the good thing about IT. We work remote thanks to COVID. That even made it even much better. So don't think, oh, you're in Nigeria, like maybe jobs. Please feel free to apply for jobs outside of Nigeria. You could work remotely, and it's a very, very good place to start. There are more options. There's like more opportunities. Like the opportunities are basically there are more if you just put yourself. Feel free to put yourself out there and just apply for jobs, just could be anywhere. So just don't limit yourself basically to maybe people within Nigeria. Feel free, with the experiences you've had, with your interest. And many of these companies are always looking to hire interns, to build you and grow you. They are very receptive to new people in the field. So feel free to put yourself out there and just don't limit your opportunities. I promise that's my last take on this.
If you have any question, you can still drop it on the comment section.
I was thinking the session has ended, but it seems the panel, we just started it all over again. So, but yeah, just to make sure we don't keep our panelists longer than planned, I think the best thing to do is, because people will keep coming in at any time they like and starting and, maybe asking questions that had been answered. So I think anybody that has further questions can actually connect with our speakers on various platforms, especially LinkedIn. And if you have any specific question you might want to direct at any of them, I think you can. And then the other questions you can actually bring to the Solution Innovation District. Our office is always open and our social media pages are open and our email address is also open. You'll find all of those on our website. And then, and for those of you that are just really asking, you don't know where to start, if you don't see SID to ask and you haven't connected with our speakers, you can always use Google. Go there, ask that thing you want to ask, type it on Google. You'll find some answers, at least some suggestions or something like that. So someone is asking that you could share social handles of the speakers. Hi, ma'am, Henry, ma'am, Nenaya, and Joanne. If you can kindly share your LinkedIn profile link in the chat section so that people can actually easily find it. Otherwise, if you go there, you just type their names and you'll find them. And you can actually check the post we made the last time where we announced the speakers. You actually see most of them were tagged on that post. So you can actually follow that and see their links. But I just want to specifically thank you all for really taking out the time to be with us here. Nenaya, Joanne, Madam Eloise. I just want to be sure I'm saying your name correct, ma'am. Can you kindly correct? Okay. I'm happy to say that correctly. Thank you all so much for sharing insights and thank you for spending this time with us. We really, really appreciate it. This is being live streamed on YouTube. So those people who missed out are going to have opportunity to rewatch the session. And you've already impacted so many people and you're going to be impacting so many other people by just being on this session. Thank you all so much. And from the Solution Innovation District, I say thank you to our speakers and thank you again to all of you for staying to the end. And to Pascal, thank you for driving this session. And to all the team members behind the scenes, taking pictures, responding to questions and sorting other things. Thank you to all of you. And so I think we'll wrap it up right here. And please watch out for other programs we have coming up. The Code Anambra is already ongoing. And so the second cohort, for those that missed the first cohort, you watch out for second cohort when we make the announcement. And very soon, in the next few days, we're going to be announcing the dates for the stakeholder engagement session, where we are working towards domesticating the Startup Act right here in Anambra State. So if you want your voice to be heard, your opinion to be counted in the eventual act that will emerge, make sure to keep that date with us. We're going to announce the date on our social media pages. So if you're not connected with us, please connect already, because all we announce are things that are useful to you, either programs or trainings or events or just things that were curated for you. So make sure to connect with Solution Innovation District. And if you ever need to reach out to me privately, of course, my name is Chinwe Okoli, and it's the same on all social media platforms. Yeah, you can come into my DM and send anything you like, question, whatever it is. And once I get a chance, I will do well to respond. So thank you all so much and have a good evening. Zikora as well, thank you. That was an excellent moderation. It was just so smooth. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye, guys. Bye, ladies.